Hi friends, my name is Billy Fong from TradeLinks Resources, which specialize in training on letters of credit, Incoterms, UCP 600, case studies on international trade, and shipping documents. Prior to setting up TradeLinks Resources in the year 1994, I was the head of the Trade Finance faculty of an international bank in Malaysia, where I conduct training on a set topic for bank managers, bank officers. After setting up TradeLinks Resources, I've been training staff from more than 2,000 companies from Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and the Middle East. After 25 years of training experience, I've now decided to share my experience with the online international trade communities by producing videos like what we are going to present to you all. Okay, the first video will be on the topic methods of payment in international trade. This will be presented by my assistant Sok Ling, and if you like this video, and please subscribe to our channel. In fact, we will have more videos coming out, especially on case studies relating to international trade. Thank you.
Hi everyone, as mentioned by Mr. Billy, I am Sok Ling. I will be presenting our online content to you in our YouTube channel. So let us move on to our first video, which is methods of payment in international trade. Hi everyone, we'll be looking at the methods of payment in international trade. In international trade, there are two parties, which are the exporter and the importer. From exporter to importer, there are movement of goods. Another movement from exporter to importer is the movement of documents. From the importer to exporter, there is movement of payment. From this three movement of goods, documents, and payment, there are four methods of payment, which are open account, advance payment, documentary collection, and documentary credit. We shall be looking at the four methods of payment in detail. In the next slide, we will be looking at open account. We have the exporter on the left and the importer on the right. So the exporter and importer will get into a sales contract. Once the contract has been signed, the exporter will then ship out the goods to the importer. After shipping out the goods to the importer, the exporter will prepare the necessary shipping documents, such as bills of lading, invoice, and packing lists, and will forward the documents over to the importer. So when the importer has received the documents and when the goods has arrived at the port, the importer will be able to clear the goods at the port. In this case, the goods are available to the importer before payment. And is there any risk to the importer? Certainly none. Once the importer has received the goods, the importer will subsequently make payment to the exporter. The timing of the payment will depend on the sales contract. And is there any risk to the exporter? Certainly yes, because the exporter relies completely on the importer to pay as agreed as per the sales contract. So this is a situation where the exporter will rely on the importer to make payment as agreed. So for this method of payment to work, the exporter must know and trust the importer. This is a summary of how open account method of payment works. We'll be looking at the next method of payment, which is advance payment, in the next slide. For advance payment is the direct opposite of open account. As we can see in this slide, the exporter is placed on the left-hand side, while the importer is placed on the right-hand side. So after both parties enter into a sales contract which specifies that the Method of payment is to be by advance payment. Once the contract has been signed, the importer will make payment to the exporter. The time of payment is before shipment. Is there any risk to the exporter? Certainly not, because the exporter has received payment first. So after the exporter has received payment, the exporter will then ship out the goods to the importer. After shipment of goods, the exporter will prepare the relevant shipping documents, and the exporter will then courier the documents directly to the importer. When the importer receives the documents, the importer will then be able to clear the goods from the port. The goods are available only to the importer after payment. The risk to the importer is that the importer would have to rely completely on the exporter to ship out the goods as ordered. For this method to work, the importer must know and trust the exporter. So this is in essence advance payment method. We have a problem here. The exporter does not know the importer very well, and the importer does not know the exporter very well. So there is no trust between both parties, because the exporter will certainly want advance payment and the importer will certainly want open account. So if both parties cannot compromise, they will need the bank to resolve this issue. For this situation, the bank has invented two methods of payment, which are documentary collection and documentary credit. Under documentary collection method, you have both sight and usance. Under sight documentary collection, you have DP, which is documents against payment. Under usance, you have DA, which is documents against acceptance. In our next video, we will be looking at an overview of how a sight letter of credit works.